Welcome, everybody, and thank you for joining us for another awesome episode of the Line Boss Podcast. I'm Heather Gray, aka the Line Boss, and today we have special guest, Dr. Desthea Skinner. Say that 10 times fast. But we're going to be talking about flourishing in your 40s and beyond, mastering your pre-menopause transformation. And I know I'm right there. I'm 45, right? So how many ladies here we got in that age range that are going to appreciate this talk today? So let's give Dr. Skinner a warm welcome. Thanks for joining us.
My pleasure.
Yay. So I always love to go into people's backstories first, right? Like we were kind of talking beforehand, is that most of us don't get into this alternative speaking outside of the box of, traditional Western medicine without a story. So what's your story? Like, how did you become, was this the type of doctor you wanted to be when you became a doctor, or is this something you got into, or just tell us your story.
Okay. So I, all my life had said, I want to be a baby doctor. I'd always wanted to be an OB, wanted to birth babies. So that's where I was headed, molecular biology, biochemistry at the University of Washington. And at that point, I was dating my husband, who's now my husband, and he ended up getting really sick. He had lost weight, he was gaunt, he was feeling anxiety and depression and felt like his gut was a mess and knew something was very wrong with him, to the point of like, do I have cancer? Like, what is wrong with me? Like that level of worry. And so we'd gone the traditional route and found no answers. We were told it's all in your head. You just need Prozac. There's nothing wrong with you. And he knew that that wasn't true for him. My mom introduced us to the idea of naturopathic medicine. She was a hospice nurse and said, I heard of this thing. Have you ever heard of naturopathic medicine? And we were both like, no. And so we decided that that was the route to go. And we actually took out a credit card. We were both college students, right? Not a lot of money at that stage in the game, and took out a credit card to be able to go and get him to see a naturopathic doctor. And within 8 to 9 months, it was a 180 turn. He's like, great, this is what I want to be when I grow up. And I said, great, you'll be an MD, I'll be an ND. And then I was in asthma and I was in drug research. I was doing clinical trials through a company, and we were doing asthma and allergy drug research for children's medications. And I just became disillusioned. I realized that I wanted solutions. I loved the medical detective work. I loved the finding of putting the pieces together. And so I said, I want to become a naturopathic doctor too. And he said, no way, we can't have two of those. So we ended up working it out.
Wait. Why? I was just going to say, why can't you?
Because he was in the process of applying to naturopathic medical school.
So was he coming from just more of a financial?
Just like student loan debt, like it takes a lot. It's a 4 to 5 year postgraduate medical education that you got to get student loans for. So it was just a scary jump. And then also at that time, this is 20 plus years ago.
Right. Oh my God.
25 years ago. I've been out in practice over 20 years. And, it was like, my parents were like, what are you going to be?
Right.
So it was just all of that, like, what have you chosen? And so it felt easier to have a traditional medicine doc and an alternative medicine. So it didn't feel so scary, but I knew in the core of my being, that is what I wanted to do. So I fought for it, and we did it, and we haven't looked back. So we started Cypress Natural Medicine, which is, our clinic together. And then we took the whole thing online with our revolutionary health creation and revolutionary hormones and revolutionary gut. And so, that is kind of the journey that has been. I've also been through my own health struggles because I want to be a baby doctor, right?
Right. Yeah, but I was actually just going to ask you, I'm like, all right, we need to tie it back around.
Yeah. So I did the home birth midwifery training through Bastyr University, which is where I went to medical school, which is a top medical school in the country, and for naturopathic medicine. And so home birth midwifery is go all day and go all night. right? I burnt my body to the point of chronic fatigue and fibro and had to take that off my plate as a possibility, and then had to rebuild from there. So there is really when I dove into hormones and the interplay of, how our adrenal glands and our thyroid and our reproductive hormones all form this incredible, amazing network and work together, and pieced my own health back together. Now at the age of turning 50 this year.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
When's your birthday?
December.
December. So are you a Sagittarius?
I am.
I love Sagittarius. No wonder why you and I clicked so well. I'm an Aries.
There you go. So I had to put my pieces of my puzzle back together, and I've still continued that walk. And I would say now at the almost age of 50, I do not struggle with chronic fatigue, and I feel healthier, more vibrant, more alive than I ever did in my 30s. So that's a real win.
Isn't that crazy how in this society they've taken so many things as just a natural part of aging, right? Like,
yeah, you're just supposed to feel fatigued and exhausted. No,
right? And dementia and Alzheimer's and all those things are just a normal part of aging. And that's why I do what I do, is because none of that stuff is a normal part of aging. Like, it is a very abnormal, and that doesn't have to be your destiny. And that's part of the reason why I put out here and have the guests that I have, because I want to bang that rattle even louder. Is like, people, you don't have to put up with, lack of hormones, lack of libido, brain fog, all the things that we're going to talk about, the stuff that happens.
And you don't have to suffer the way we really think we have to suffer. Absolutely. Like my husband, when he was sick, told nothing's wrong with you. How many people do you know are told that?
Absolutely.
There's nothing wrong with you. We can't find anything. You just have to learn to live with this.
That's the normal credo with Lyme disease, though. Like that's
the normal credo with Lyme
very typical with Lyme. So yeah.
My husband treats a lot of Lyme. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is a really great spot. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to dive deeper into the title of this talk: Flourishing in Your 40s and Beyond, Mastering Your Perimenopause Transformation. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Be right back. All health begins in the mouth. And some of the best products out there for your best oral health care is Primal Life Organics. Their tooth powder, their gum drops, their tongue scraper, their electric sonic toothbrush, all of it. And they've even got a kit that's got your whole mouth regime, AM and PM, all in one easy to use kit. I highly, highly recommend it. Oh, and it's got an awesome little red light to help with gums. Most folks with Lyme disease and chronic health have got issues, infections in their gums, in their mouth, and they've got really bad teeth. I've spent over $10,000 fixing my teeth from the years of issues with cavitations and cavities, being a mouth breather, so many things. So everybody says that your immune system starts in your gut. It actually starts with your mouth. So make sure you get your mouth nice and healthy and start with Primal Life Organics. Make sure to go to my website, thelimeboss.com, go to the resource section and get yours today. Welcome back, everybody. If you missed the first half, you missed so much. And what an interesting and very common story, sadly, it's not uncommon, is the reason that a lot of us alternative practitioners get into this line of work is because of our own health scares, that the traditional model is just left us empty-handed, right? And seeking out truth in other ways. God bless it, right? Because if it wasn't for my story, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing and being able to help out the people I'm able to help out. I can't even imagine the stories you have after being a naturopathic doctor for the past